Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Kaká. Ricardo Izecson dos Santos Leite, commonly known as Kaká or Ricardo Kaká, is a Brazilian professional footballer who plays as an attacking midfielder for Orlando City in Major League Soccer and the Brazil national team. Kaká made his professional debut at age 18 at São Paulo FC in 2001. In 2003, he joined Italian club Milan for a fee of €8.5 million after being named to the Bola de Ouro as the best player in the 2002 Campeonato Brasileiro. While at Milan, Kaká won a Serie A title and was named the Serie A Footballer of the Year 2 times. In the 2004-05 season, the squad reached the 2005 UEFA Champions League Final where they lost to Liverpool on penalty shootouts, and Kaká was the top assist provider of the tournament, being named the UEFA Club Midfielder of the Year. 2 years later he led Milan to win the 2006-07 UEFA Champions League, being the tournament's top scorer. After the season, he won the FIFA World Player of the Year, the Ballon d'Or, the UEFA Club Footballer of the Year, and the IFFHS World's Best Playmaker awards. After his success with Milan, Kaká joined Real Madrid for a transfer fee of €67 million. At the time this was the second highest transfer fee ever, behind only the €77.5 million fee for Zinedine Zidane. However, in the same window Real Madrid broke the world record by signing Cristiano Ronaldo. After 4 seasons in Spain he returned to Milan for a season in 2013, scoring his 100th goal for the club. At the end of the 2013-14 season he joined MLS expansion club Orlando City, but initially returned to his former Brazilian club São Paulo FC on loan. In 2015, he scored on his MLS debut for Orlando City. He was later included in the roster for the 2015 MLS All-Star Game where he was named Most Valuable Player. At international level, Kaká made his debut for the Brazil national team in 2002 and was selected for their victorious World Cup squad that year, as well as the 2006 and 2010 tournaments, leading the tournament in assists in the latter. He was also a member of Brazil's 2005 and 2009 FIFA Confederations Cup winning squads, winning the Golden Ball Award in the 2009 edition. As the tournament's best player, Kaká is widely considered one of the best players of his generation. He was nominated 3 times to both the FIFA Pro World 11 and the UEFA Team of the Year. In 2010 he was named to the AC Milan Hall of Fame. In 2017, ESPN ranked Kaká 18th on its list of the world's most famous athletes. He was the first sportsperson to amass 10 million followers on Twitter. He is one of 4 players, alongside Ronaldinho, Rivaldo and Zinedine Zidane, to have won the FIFA World Cup, the UEFA Champions League title and the Ballon d'Or. In addition to his contributions on the pitch, Kaká is known for his humanitarian work. In 2004, by the time of his appointment, he became the youngest ambassador of the UN World Food Programme. For his contributions on and off the pitch, Kaká was named in the Time 100 list of the world's most influential people in 2008 and 2009. Early life. Ricardo Izecson dos Santos Leite was born in Gama, Brazil, to Bosco Izecson Pereira Leite and Simone dos Santos. He had a financially secure upbringing that allowed him to focus on both school and football at the same time. His younger brother Rodrigo and cousin Eduardo Delany are also professional footballers. Digao called him Kaká due to his inability to pronounce Ricardo when they were young. It eventually evolved into Kaká. The word has no specific Portuguese translation. When he was 7, Kaká's family moved to São Paulo. His school had arranged him in a local youth club called Alphaville, who qualified to the final in a local tournament. There he was discovered by hometown club São Paulo FC, who offered him a place in the youth academy. At the age of 18, Kaká suffered a career-threatening, and possibly paralysis-inducing spinal fracture as a result of a swimming pool accident, but made a full recovery. He attributes his recovery to God and has since tithed his income to his church. São Paulo. Kaká began his career with São Paulo at the age of 8. He signed a contract at 15, and led the São Paulo youth squad to Copa de Juvenile glory. He made his senior side debut on 1 February 2001 and scored 12 goals in 27 appearances in addition to leading São Paulo to its first and only Torneio Rio São Paulo Championship, in which he scored 2 goals in 2 minutes as a substitute against Botafogo in the final, which São Paulo won 2-1. He scored 10 goals in 22 matches the following season, and by this time his performance was soon attracting attention from European clubs. Kaká made a total of 58 appearances for São Paulo, scoring 23 times. Milan. The steady European interest in Kaká culminated in his signing with the European champions, Italian club AC Milan in 2003 for a fee of reported €8.5 million, described in retrospect as peanuts by club owner Silvio Berlusconi. Within a month he cracked the starting lineup, replacing Rui Costa in the attacking midfield playmaking position, behind strikers John Dahl Tomasson, Filippo Inzaghi and Andriy Shevchenko. His Serie A debut was in a 2-0 win over Ancona. He scored 10 goals in 30 appearances that season, also providing several important assists such as the cross which led to Shevchenko's title-deciding headed goal as Milan won the Scudetto and the UEFA Super Cup, whilst finishing as runner-up in the Intercontinental Cup and the 2003 Supercoppa Italiana. Milan also reached the semi-finals of the Coppa Italia, losing up to eventual winners Lazio, and were knocked out of the quarter-finals of the Champions League by Deportivo de La Coruña. Due to his performances in his debut season in 2004, Kaká was named Serie A Footballer of the Year, and was nominated for both the Ballon d'Or and the FIFA World Player of the Year awards. Kaká was a part of the 5-man midfield in the 2004-05 season, usually playing in a withdrawn role behind striker Andriy Shevchenko. He was supported by Gennaro Gattuso and Clarence Seedorf defensively, as well as Massimo Ambrosini, allowing Kaká as the attacking midfielder and Rui Costa or Andrea Pirlo as the deep-lying playmaker to be in charge of creating Milan's goal-scoring chances, forming a formidable midfield unit in both Italy and Europe. Milan began the season by winning the Supercoppa Italiana against Lazio. He scored 7 goals in 36 domestic appearances as Milan finished runner-up in the Scudetto race. Milan also reached the quarter-finals of the Coppa Italia that season. Kaká played a pivotal role in Milan's Champions League campaign that season, helping them to reach the final against Liverpool, scoring 2 goals and providing 5 assists. Dubbed the Miracle of Istanbul, Milan led 3-0 at halftime before Liverpool staged a comeback, scoring 3 goals in 6 minutes and eventually won the match 3-2 on penalties. A match widely regarded as one of the greatest finals in the competition's history. Kaká was imperious in the first half. He first won the early free kick which led to Paolo Maldini's opening goal, later beginning the play that led to Hernan Crespo's first goal, and Milan's second of the night, before executing a long curling pass that split open the Liverpool defence. and rolled perfectly into the path of Crespo to score Milan's third. Kaká was once again nominated for the Ballon d'Or and FIFA World Player of the Year awards, finishing 9th and 8th respectively, and he was named the 2005 UEFA Club Football Best Midfielder. The 2005-06 season saw Kaká score his first hat-tricks in domestic competitions. On the 9th of April 2006, he scored his first Rossoneri hat-trick against Chievo, with all 3 goals scored in the second half. Milan were knocked out in the semi-finals of the 2005-06 Champions League to eventual champions Barcelona, and were once again eliminated in the quarter-finals of the Coppa Italia. Milan also finished once again as runners-up in Serie A, with Kaká scoring 17 goals in the league. After the 2006 Calciopoli scandal, however, Milan were deducted 30 points, which placed them in third in the table. Kaká was nominated for the Ballon d'Or and the FIFA World Player of the Year awards for the third consecutive year, finishing 11th and 7th respectively. He was also selected to be part of both the UEFA Team of the Year and the FIFA Pro World 11 for the first time in his career. Andriy Shevchenko's departure to Chelsea for the 2006-07 season allowed Kaká to become the focal point of Milan's offense, as he alternated between the midfield and forward positions, operating at times as a striker or as a second striker behind Filippo Inzaghi, as well as in his more typical attacking midfield position. On the 2nd of November 2006, he scored his first Champions League hat-trick in a 4-1 group stage win over the Belgian side Anderlecht. He finished as the top scorer in the 2006-07 Champions League campaign with 10 goals. One of the goals helped the Rossoneri eliminate Celtic in the round of 1-6-1-0 on aggregate, and he scored 3 goals against Manchester United in the semi-finals. Milan also reached the semi-finals of the Coppa Italia that season, losing out to winners Roma, and finished 4th in Serie A. Kaká won the Champions League title when Milan defeated Liverpool 2-1 on the 23rd of May 2007, avenging the previous loss on penalties 2 years before. Though he went scoreless, he won a free kick that led to the first of Filippo Inzaghi's 2 goals and provided the assist for the second. For his stellar play throughout the competition, he was voted the Vodafone Fans Player of the Season in a poll of over 100,000 UEFA.com visitors. On the 30th of August, Kaká was named by UEFA as both the top forward of the 2006-07 Champions League season and UEFA Club Footballer of the Year, as well as being named as part of the UEFA Team of the Year. For the second time, he once again finished as the second-best assist provider of the Champions League, providing 5, and was voted the 2007 IFFHS World's Best Playmaker. Milan began its 2007-08 season by winning the UEFA Super Cup on the 31st of August, defeating Sevilla 3-1 with Kaká scoring the third goal. Kaká had made a dribbling run into Sevilla's area, winning a penalty which he then proceeded to take. Although it was saved by goalkeeper Andres Palop, Kaká scored on the rebound with a header. Kaká had previously hit the post in the first half. He played his 200th career match with Milan in a 1-1 home draw with Catania on the 30th of September, scoring from a penalty, and on the 5th of October he was named the 2006-07 FIFA Pro World Player of the Year, and was elected as part of the FIFA Pro World 11. On the 2nd of December 2007, Kaká became the 8th Milan player to win the Ballon d'Or, as he finished with a decisive 444 votes, well ahead of runner-up Cristiano Ronaldo. He signed a contract extension through 2013 with Milan on the 29th of February 2008. On the 16th of December, Kaká won the FIFA Club World Cup against Boca Juniors, scoring Milan's third goal of the match in a 4-2 victory which allowed them to be crowned world champions. Kaká had previously assisted Filippo Inzaghi's opening goal of the match, and also assisted Inzaghi's final goal of the match after an impressive exchange with Clarence Seedorf. He was awarded the Golden Ball as the best player of the competition. On the 17th of December, Kaká was voted the 2007 FIFA World Player of the Year with 1,047 votes, ahead of Lionel Messi with 504 and Cristiano Ronaldo with 426, and was elected to be part of the FIFA World 11 for the second time in his career, also winning the FIFA World Player of the Year award. In January 2008, Kaká was also named the 2007 Serie A Footballer of the Year, winning the award for the second time in his career. Due to his contributions on and off the pitch, Time magazine named Kaká in the Time 100, a list of the world's 100 most influential people, on the 2nd of May. On the 14th of October, he cast his footprints into the Estadio de Maracana's Sidewalk of Fame, in a section dedicated to the memory of the country's top players. He won the Time 100 honor again in 2009. Kaká finished the 2007-08 season with 15 goals in Serie A and was nominated as a finalist for the FIFA World Player of the Year, finishing in 4th place, and was nominated for the Ballon d'Or, finishing in 8th place. He was named in the 6-man shortlist for the 2008 Laureate World Sportsman of the Year, and was selected in the FIFA World 11 for the third time in his career. BBC reported on 13 January 2009 that Manchester City made a bid for Kaká for over £100 million. Milan director Umberto Gandini replied that Milan would only discuss the matter if Kaká and Manchester City agreed to personal terms. Kaká initially responded by telling reporters he wanted to grow old at Milan and dreamed of captaining the club one day, but later said, "If Milan want to sell me, I'll sit down and talk. I can say that as long as the club don't want to sell me, I'll definitely stay." On the 19th of January, Silvio Berlusconi announced that Manchester City had officially ended their bid after a discussion between the clubs, and that Kaká would remain with Milan. Milan supporters had protested outside the club headquarters earlier that evening, and later chanted outside Kaká's home, where he saluted them by flashing his jersey outside a window. Kaká finished his final season with Milan by scoring 16 goals, helping Milan finish third in Serie A, and once again being elected as a finalist for the FIFA World Player of the Year award, finishing 4th in voting for the second straight year. He was also nominated for the Ballon d'Or award, finishing in 6th place, and was named in the UEFA Team of the Year for the third time in his career. Real Madrid. On 3 June 2009, it was reported that newly elected Real Madrid president Florentino Perez had offered to buy Kaká from Milan for a reported €68.5 million 2 days after the player had left for international duty with Brazil. Milan vice chairman and CEO Adriano Galliani confirmed that he and Kaká's father, Bosco Leite, had traveled to Mexico to meet with Le Volpe. "We had lunch and spoke about Kaká. I don't deny it. Negotiations exist, but a deal has yet to be done." On 4 June, Galliani told Gazzetta dello Sport that financial reasons were his motive for the talks with Le Volpe. "We cannot allow Milan to lose €70 million. The reasons behind Kaká's departure would be economic." On 8 June, Milan and Real Madrid confirmed Kaká's move to the Santiago Bernabeu stadium on a 6-year deal for €67 million fee. Kaká was unveiled as a Real Madrid player on the 30th of June 2009. And he made his unofficial debut on the 7th of August 2009 in a 5-1 friendly victory against Toronto FC. He scored his first goal for Madrid during a pre-season match on the 19th of August 2009, in a 5-0 victory against Borussia Dortmund. Kaká later made his league debut on the 29th of August 2009 in a 3-2 win against Deportivo de La Coruña. He scored his first goal, a penalty, on the 23rd of September in a 2-0 win against Villarreal. Real Madrid finished the season as runners-up in La Liga, with Kaká scoring 8 goals and providing 6 assists in La Liga and 9 goals and 8 assists in all competitions. On the 5th of August 2010, Real Madrid announced that Kaká had undergone a successful surgery on a long-standing left knee injury and would face up to 4 months on the sidelines. Kaká returned to training after a long layoff, with manager José Mourinho commenting that having Kaká back from injury was like a new signing. After an 8-month absence, Kaká returned to play by entering as a substitute for Karim Benzema on the 77th minute of a 3-2 victory over Getafe on the 3rd of January 2011. He said he was happy for playing a game again and for stepping onto a pitch. His first league goal after his return from injury came with an assist from Cristiano Ronaldo on a 4-2 victory over Villarreal on the 9th of January 2011. In March 2011, Kaká suffered from iliotibial band syndrome, which kept him sidelined for a few weeks. After returning from injury, he appeared in a convincing win over Valencia, scoring 2 goals. At the end of his second season with the club, Real Madrid and Kaká had won the Copa del Rey, although they finished as runners-up in both La Liga and in the Supercopa de España to rivals Barcelona. Real Madrid were also knocked out of the Champions League by Barcelona in the semi-finals of the competition. Kaká finished his season with 7 goals and 6 assists in all competitions in 20 appearances. On the 27th of September 2011, Kaká experienced one of his best matches as a Real Madrid player during a 3-0 victory over Ajax in the Champions League, as he scored 1 goal, provided 1 assist, and participated in one of the best team build-ups of the matchday, a counter-attacking move involving Mesut Ozil, Cristiano Ronaldo and Karim Benzema. Kaká was later chosen the best player of the Champions League matchday. With this match, Kaká experienced one of the best starts to a season he has ever had, scoring 2 goals, serving 2 assists and winning 1 penalty for his team. In 2011-12, Real Madrid won La Liga with a record 100 points that year, with Kaká providing 9 assists and scoring 5 goals in the competition. They were, however, eliminated for the second year in a row in the semi-finals of the Champions League, losing out to eventual runners-up Bayern Munich on penalties. The decisive misses for Real Madrid were by Ronaldo, Kaká and Sergio Ramos. Kaká was one of the top assist providers of the Champions League that season, providing 5 assists. He finished the season with 8 goals and 14 assists in all club competitions. Real Madrid were eliminated in the quarter-finals of the Copa del Rey by eventual winners Barcelona. Real Madrid began the 2012-13 season by winning the 2012 Supercopa de España against rivals Barca on the 4th of December 2012. After scoring in a 4-1 win against Ajax, Kaká became the top Brazilian goalscorer in Champions League history with 28 goals. After the match, Kaká said, "This was an important goal for me and I hope I've still got goals left to help Real Madrid. It was an important win and a special night." Kaká came on just before an hour was played. but was sent off as he was controversially booked twice within 18 minutes in a 0-0 draw against Osasuna on 12 January 2013. It was his first sending off at Madrid since he joined from Milan in 2009 and his first red card since he was dismissed playing for Brazil against the Côte d'Ivoire at the 2010 FIFA World Cup. Real Madrid finished the season in second place in La Liga behind Barcelona, and also finished runners-up in the Copa del Rey to City rivals Atletico Madrid. They were eliminated in the semi-finals of the Champions League for the third consecutive year by eventual runners-up Borussia Dortmund. On 29 August 2013, Kaká expressed his desire to leave Real Madrid, having scored 29 goals and provided 32 assists in 120 appearances in all competitions over 4 seasons at the club. He said goodbye to Real Madrid and its fans in an open letter on Twitter. Return to Milan. Milan confirmed that Kaká would join the club on 2 September 2013 from Real Madrid on a free transfer with only performance-related incentives owed to Madrid. After agreeing to personal terms, he signed a 2-year contract. Kaká's contract was worth €4 million net per year and he was given the number 22 shirt, the same number he wore for Milan during his first spell. He was also made the vice-captain upon his arrival. He captained Milan in his debut for second spell, taking the armband from goalkeeper Marco Emilia in a match against Chiasso. Kaká tore his left adductor muscle during his first competitive appearance, deciding not to accept any wages from Milan whilst he regained fitness. He made his return for Milan on 19 October after coming on as a 76th-minute substitute in a 1-0 home victory against Udinese. In his next match on 22 October, Kaká assisted Robinho in the 1-1 home draw against Barcelona in the Champions League. His first goal, described by ESPN as a sensational curling shot from the edge of the area into the top right-hand corner, opened the scoring in a 1-1 home draw at San Siro to Lazio on 30 October. On 7 January 2014, Kaká scored his 100th goal for Milan by an opening goal in a match against Atalanta. He later went on to score another goal 30 minutes later. On the 11th of March, he scored a goal against Atletico Madrid in Vicente Calderón Stadium. This goal made him the last player to score against Atletico Madrid at Vicente Calderón for 3 seasons in knockout phase until Isco scored against them in 2016-17 UEFA Champions League semi-final. On 29 March 2014, Kaká scored twice in a 3-0 win against Chievo, his 300th match for Milan. In June 2014, it was reported that Kaká had entered into advanced discussions with Orlando City to join the team in January 2015 when they enter Major League Soccer. On 30 June 2014, Kaká had his Milan contract terminated through mutual consent despite having a year remaining, by activating a release clause as a result of the team not qualifying for European competitions. Orlando City. Kaká joined future MLS franchise Orlando City as their first designated player. He stated that he had always wanted to play in the United States, and cited the Brazilian owner Flavio Augusto da Silva as a reason for signing. Until Orlando entered the league in 2015, Kaká was loaned to his first club, São Paulo, which he called really satisfying. By signing for Orlando City, Kaká became the highest-paid player in MLS history with a base salary of $6.6 million per year, and with a guaranteed compensation of $7.2 million per year. São Paulo loan. On 3 July 2014, Kaká arrived at São Paulo and began training the next day. He made his comeback in a league match against Goiás on 27 July 2014, starting and scoring a goal in the 76th minute, although his team lost 2-1. On 4 September 2014, in the second round of the Copa Sudamericana, Kaká scored in a 2-0 victory over Criciúma. On 9 November 2014, Kaká scored the winning goal in a 2-1 victory over Vitória. Return to Orlando City. Kaká scored in his first match for Orlando City, a 4-0 friendly win over FC Dallas. Kaká then scored again in a 1-1 friendly draw against New York City FC. On 8 March 2015, Kaká scored a free kick for the equalizer in a 1-1 draw on his MLS debut against New York City FC at the Citrus Bowl, the first in Orlando City's competitive history. Kaká scored one and assisted another in a 2-2 draw with Montreal Impact on 28 March 2015. Kaká came second in the Etihad Airways MLS Player of the Month poll for his performances in March. On 13 April 2015, Kaká scored a penalty against Portland Timbers in a 2-0 win. On 17 May 2015, Kaká scored one and assisted another in Orlando City's 4-0 win over defending MLS champions LA Galaxy. By doing so, Orlando became the first expansion team to beat a defending MLS champion by more than a 3-goal margin. On 30 June, Kaká scored Orlando's opening goal in the 21st minute of his Open Cup debut, helping his team to a 2-0 home win over Columbus Crew in the fifth round of the competition, which enabled the club to advance to the quarter-finals. On 5 July, he received the first straight red card of his career in a 1-1 away draw against Real Salt Lake. He had previously scored a goal during the match. Later that month, Kaká was named to the 2015 MLS All-Star Game as the team's captain. During the MLS All-Star Game on 29 July, at the Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City, Colorado, he scored from a penalty, and later assisted David Villa as the MLS All-Stars defeated Tottenham Hotspur 2-1. Kaká was named MVP of the match. Despite his efforts, he was unable to help Orlando City become the first expansion team to qualify for the MLS Cup playoffs since the Seattle Sounders in 2009, as Orlando narrowly missed out on the 6th seed spot in the Eastern Conference. After initially being sidelined through injury, and missing Orlando City's first 3 matches of the 2016 MLS season, Kaká returned to the team's starting lineup and made his first appearance of the season on 3 April. Against the Portland Timbers, he assisted 2 goals, and later scored one himself in a 4-1 home victory, and was subsequently named to the MLS Team of the Week for his performance. In July 2016, he was included in the roster for the 2016 MLS All-Star Game. He finished his second MLS season with the club with 9 goals and 10 assists in 24 appearances, as Orlando once again failed to qualify for the MLS Cup playoffs. On 5 March 2017, in Orlando City's opening match of the MLS season against New York City, and the club's stadium debut, Kaká hit the turf, clutching his left leg just minutes after the game had started. The Lions beat their opponents 1-0. Later it was reported that Kaká would be out for 6 weeks due to a hamstring strain. Kaká came back in action, and he scored on his return in Orlando City 2-0 win over Colorado Rapids on 29 April. The next week he scored another goal in Orlando's 2-1 loss against Toronto FC. He scored his third goal of the season in a 2-2 draw against Sporting KC on 13 May 2017. On 14 June he played in the 3-1 loss in US Open Cup match against Miami FC, which was coached by his former teammate Alessandro Nesta. On 17 June he assisted Matías Pérez Garcia's goal against Montreal Impact. The following match, he provided another assist for Scott Sutter's last-minute equalizer against Seattle Sounders. On 7 July he was chosen to play for the 2017 MLS All-Star Game for the third consecutive season. He scored a long-range stunner against Atlanta United on 29 July. Orlando City were officially eliminated from playoff contention on 7 October. Following New York Red Bulls' 3-0 victory over Vancouver Whitecaps, Kaká announced on the 11th of October 2017 that he would not be renewing his contract with Orlando City for the 2018 MLS season. He played his last match for Orlando on the 15th of October in a 1-0 home defeat against Columbus Crew. International career. Kaká was called up for the 2001 FIFA World Youth Championship, but the Brazilians crashed out to Ghana in the quarter-finals. Several months later he made his debut for the senior Brazil squad in a friendly match against Bolivia on 31 January 2002. He was part of Brazil's 2002 FIFA World Cup winning squad in Korea, Japan, but played only 25 minutes. All of which were in the first-round match against Costa Rica. In 2003, Kaká was the captain for the 2003 CONCACAF Gold Cup, where Brazil, competing with their under-23 team, finished as runner-up to Mexico. He scored 3 goals during the tournament. He was included in Brazil's squad for 2005 FIFA Confederations Cup in Germany. He appeared in all 5 matches and scored 1 goal in a 4-1 win over Argentina in the final. Kaká started in his first FIFA World Cup finals in 2006 and scored his first and only goal of the tournament in Brazil's 1-0 victory over Croatia in Brazil's opener, for which he was named man of the match. Kaká was unable to keep up the momentum for the remainder of the tournament as Brazil was eliminated by France in the quarter-finals, with French star Thierry Henry scoring the winner in a friendly against rivals Argentina on 3 September 2006 after entering as a substitute. Kaká received the ball off a deflection from an Argentina corner kick and outran Lionel Messi while taking the ball down 3/4 of the field to score. On 12 May 2007, citing an exhaustive schedule of Serie A Champions League and national team play, Kaká bowed out of the 2007 Copa America, which Brazil won. After missing out on the Copa America, he returned to play in Brazil's friendly match against Algeria on the 22nd of August 2007. Kaká participated in the 2009 FIFA Confederations Cup wearing the number 10 shirt, marking his first international tournament since the 2006 World Cup. His only 2 goals came in Brazil's group stage opener against Egypt on 14 June, when he scored a goal in the 5th minute, and then added a 90th minute penalty in Brazil's 4-3 victory. Kaká also provided 2 assists throughout the tournament. He received the Golden Ball as the player of the tournament at the Confederations Cup, and was also named the man of the match in the final after helping Brazil to a 3-2 win against the United States at the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. During the match against Ivory Coast on 20 June, Kaká received a controversial red card after receiving 2 yellow cards. The second card was given for an alleged elbow in the direction of Abdulkader Keita. Kaká ended the tournament with 3 assists in total as the joint top assist provider, although he failed to score a goal. During the tournament, Brazil eventually ended up losing 2-1 to World Cup eventual runners-up Netherlands in the quarter-finals of the tournament. After more than a year absence from the national team due to a series of injuries, Kaká was recalled on 27 October 2011 for the friendly matches against Gabon and Egypt in November. He later had to be removed from the squad due to a calf injury, and thus did not play either of the matches. After not appearing for Brazil in 2 years, Kaká was recalled on 28 September 2012 for the friendly matches against Iraq and Japan in October. Following his recall to the Seleção squad, Kaká stated, "I admit it was a surprise, this call. When the list was published I was extremely happy. It was like my first call-up." Brazil coach Mano Menezes stated that despite Kaká and Oscar's similarities, the two would be able to play alongside each other as Kaká had slightly changed his playing style. On his return to the national side, Kaká scored in both matches, a 6-0 win over Iraq and 4-0 win over Japan. Kaká retained his place in the squad for Brazil's 1000th game in history, a 1-1 friendly draw against Colombia on 14 November 2012. On 5 March 2013, Kaká was called up by new Brazil coach Luiz Felipe Scolari for the first time since the coach returned for friendlies with Italy in London and Russia in Geneva, both taking place late in that month. Kaká, however, was not selected for the national team for the 2013 Confederations Cup, and was also omitted in Scolari's 2014 World Cup squad. After almost 18 months, Kaká was recalled to the Brazilian team in October 2014 by new manager Dunga for friendlies against Argentina and Japan. On 1 May 2015, Kaká was selected as one of 7 standby players in Brazil's preliminary squad for the 2015 Copa America, although he was not called up for the final tournament. In August 2015, he was called up to the national team once again for the team's international friendlies in September, and made a substitute appearance in Brazil's 1-0 victory over Costa Rica on 5 September. This was his first appearance for Brazil in almost a year and his 90th appearance for his country overall, following Douglas Costa's left thigh injury in late May 2016, which ruled him out of Brazil's Copa America Centenario squad. Kaká was called up as a replacement by Dunga on 30 May. He subsequently appeared as an 80th-minute substitute in a pre-Copa America friendly warm-up match against Panama, which ended in a 2-0 victory to Brazil. A muscle injury sustained in early June, however, also ruled Kaká out of the upcoming tournament. He was replaced by Ganso. Style of play. Regarded as one of the best players of his generation, Kaká has been described on the FIFA website as having the capacity to glide almost effortlessly past opponents, provide defense-splitting passes, and score consistently from distance. During his prime at Milan in the mid to late 2000s, and prior to the injuries he suffered at Real Madrid which have affected him physically, he was a quick, strong, agile, highly skillful, hard-working and creative team player with great pace, good feet and excellent balance, capable of dribbling past defenders in one-on-one situations as well as during counter-attacks. Kaká is also renowned for his vision and passing ability, enabling him to create chances for teammates. Having performed predominantly as a playmaking attacking midfielder throughout his career, he is known for being capable of scoring goals as well as creating and assisting them. A versatile player, he has been deployed in other attacking positions, performing as a winger on either flank, as a supporting forward, and on occasion as a striker, or even in a deeper role as a midfield playmaker. In addition to these characteristics, Kaká also possesses a powerful and accurate shot from both inside and outside the penalty area. with both feet. He is also an accurate penalty taker. Personal life. Kaká married his childhood sweetheart Caroline Celico on the 23rd of December 2005 at a rebirth in Christchurch in São Paulo. The couple have 2 children, son Luca Celico Leite and daughter Isabella. In 2015, Kaká and Celico announced their divorce via social media. Kaká was sworn in as an Italian citizen on the 12th of February 2007. He features prominently in Adidas advertising and also has a modeling contract with Armani, the latter preventing him from appearing in a photo collection alongside his Milan teammates that was published by Dolce. Kaká appeared on the cover of the Italian edition of EA Sports FIFA video game FIFA 07, alongside compatriot and global cover star Ronaldinho. He was also featured on the cover of some regional editions of FIFA 11, FIFA 12 and FIFA 16. Kaká cites Rai, the former Brazilian national team and São Paulo FC captain, as his footballing role model. He is best friends with Marcelo Zaragoza, who plays professionally for Tampa Bay Rowdies in the U.S. second-tier North American Soccer League. They each served as the best man at the other's wedding. He is also close friends with Colombia striker Radamel Falcao. In April 2012, Kaká became the first sportsperson to amass 10 million followers on Twitter, and by March 2015, Kaká had the 5th highest social media rank in the world among athletes, behind Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, David Beckham and Neymar, with 33 million Facebook fans. Kaká is a devout evangelical Christian who was an active member of the São Paulo-based Rebirth in Christchurch. He became engrossed in religion at the age of 12. "I learnt that it is faith that decides whether something will happen or not." He removed his jersey to reveal an "I belong to Jesus" t-shirt, and openly engaged in prayer moments after the final whistle of Brazil's 2002 World Cup and Milan's 2004 Scudetto and 2007 Champions League triumphs. He also had the same phrase along with "God is faithful" stitched onto the tongues of his boots during the post-match celebration following Brazil's 4-1 win over Argentina in the 2005 Confederations Cup final. He and several of his teammates wore t-shirts that read "Jesus loves you" in various languages. While receiving the FIFA World Footballer of the Year award in 2007, he said, "When he was young, he just wanted to be a professional player for São Paulo and play one game for the Brazil national team, but that God gave him more than he ever asked for." Though sharing a common goal, Kaká is not currently a formal member of the organization Atletas de Cristo. In goal celebrations, he usually points to the sky as a gesture of thanks to God. Kaká's favorite music genre is gospel, and his favorite book is the Bible. In an interview with the Brazilian television O Globo, Kaká manifested the will to become an evangelical pastor. Since November 2004, Kaká has served as an ambassador against hunger for the United Nations World Food Programme, the youngest to do so at the time of his appointment. In August 2015, Kaká announced he will attend Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida, and major in sports marketing. On the 24th of December, Kaká confirmed that he's dating the Brazilian model Carolina Dias. The pair attended Lucas Moura's wedding in São Paulo. Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Would you like to know more?